The governor went live for a press conference at around noon. He extended closures for schools and non-essential businesses through April 29th. And I was trying to follow the wording. I don't know if that means we're coming back on April 29th or we're closed on April 29th. But based on what he said and what the superintendent released to us today, it sounds like we would be back on April 30th. Obviously, the governor is making these decisions about every 2 weeks, so I would tune in for another update in about 2 weeks and see if he decides to close schools for longer periods of time. But as of today, school is closed now through April 29th. I believe we are returning on April 30th. Regents exams. There's been a lot of news in like the press world about Regents exams. The state has not updated any schools about Regents exams. We should be getting a firm update tomorrow about what's happening with those. I read some of the articles. Obviously, you might have seen the headlines about it. If you didn't see the headlines about it and you Google it, you will see headlines about it. That is not 100% confirmed, is what I would say. So I would hold off on saying, okay, those are true. Personally, I read, or I at least tried, I opened the document that these news organizations are citing, and it's like 45 pages and full of a lot of jargon, and I couldn't follow it at all. So the school districts, all school districts, including ours, should be getting an update from the state tomorrow. So this one is kind of just like up in the air right now. So I wouldn't say anything official in terms of Regents exams. Again, there's a lot of headlines in terms of Regents exams. You'll notice I'm not going to speak to those headlines because we haven't gotten any confirmation yet. So just keep that in mind. We'll have like a better update tomorrow because, as I said, I tried reading through the primary source and it was 45 pages and full of a lot of jargon, and I didn't see anything about Regents exams really in it. So I'm going to wait until tomorrow to give a better update on those. So that is a question mark. AP exams. Again, even if you're not in my AP class, this is true for all AP students. As you now understand, the AP exams are going to be very short, a few questions, no multiple choice, open book, etc. Regardless, you need to let me or your teacher know if you plan on taking the test. The deadline for that is April 15th. Part of the thought process on letting you guys decide is why I kind of worded this sentence poorly. The reason I assigned that contact your college's assignment is to, one, make sure your colleges are still going to honor the credit as advertised. Most are saying yes. Yes, actually, what I should say are all are saying yes, because I haven't heard from any student that said their college would not get back to them or would not give them the credit. I would also look to see if your colleges honor these AP exam credits to begin with, because some colleges say you need to get a 5, and even if you get a 5, we'll give you some generic credit, not necessarily test out of, let's say, chemistry or bio. But either way, April 15th is a firm deadline. If the school district does not hear back from you about your decision, we are going to assume that you are taking it. Again, the plan is if we're in school, at least this is what College Board has told us, if we're in school, you are taking it at school. If we are not in school, you are taking it at home. As of today, school is still open during that May week. If in a couple weeks we get some more updates from the governor or whatever and school is closed through that week, then you'll take it at home. The schedule and all of that stuff regarding any AP exams is on the College Board website. I made a video about it with the schedule on it last week. Feel free to watch that. That's all the updates I have. So, text me on Remind now if you have any questions, and I'll do my best to answer them in regards to these topics on your screen. Or text me any questions you have about any chemistry assignment you've had, or just text me a question and tell me a joke or something. I don't know. But I'm here for the next few minutes, so feel free to tune in. Any questions? Text me on Remind, please. It's going okay. The days are going by faster than I predicted they would. It's already week 4. Right now, if we were at school, we'd be getting out in about 20 minutes, which is kind of crazy to me to think that our day would be over soon. Not going too stir crazy. There were a few instances where Mrs. G would agree, where I was starting to lose it a little bit, and then I just did some things and I cooled down. So that was nice. But overall, it's fine. I mean, I miss seeing my students. I miss seeing my friends and family and all that. So it's okay. Harper's loving it. I'll tell you that. But aside from that, it's mediocre at best. So teaching through spring break, good question. That part of like the governor's waiver of the 180 days is based on, it was something about like how many snow days you've already used, or making sure you still hit a certain amount of day requirement. There was some like word jargon that blah 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 at the end of the day we had to teach through spring break. It was something with how he worded the waiver requirement. I don't know the specifics of it. All I know is that that was like a governor decision. So I know originally we got word as a district that spring break would still be spring break, but then the governor reworded the waiver requirement, which means districts had to go back and maybe take away some information they originally said. That resulted in your teaching essentially through spring break. And that's all I know. So I don't really understand or really know the specifics of the why. I just do what I'm told, which is spring break is now continuing this remote learning experience. But it was some like, it was either a legal thing, it was something that like was basically unavoidable in a way, as far as I understand. So it just kind of happened. Any other questions? Yeah, so with the whole fourth quarter being complete or missing, I don't know how that translates into a grade yet. I don't know if they've made a decision about that. I think that we're kind of waiting out to see how long we're going to be in this remote learning environment. So in terms of Mr. G, what if I'm missing all my assignments? Do I fail for the quarter? I don't know what that means. I would guess that if you do nothing all of fourth quarter and we go to some system involving passing or failing, you'd probably fail. Versus if you complete all your assignments, you would probably pass. But where it fits on like the number scale from like 0 to 100 or what that means, I don't really know. I would play it safe and make sure you do all your work, because it's easier on your end. If you don't worry if we do go back to school or they do change it to a grade, you'll have less work to do on your end if you just do it now. So that's the only way I can answer that question, I would say. Any other questions? Any questions? I'm here for questions. All right, so I guess based on the lack of responses, I am done. So just as a quick recap, school is now closed through April 29th. Our day to go back will be April 30th, which is, I believe, a Thursday. Regents exams. There's a lot of news circulating around about Regents exams. You may have seen the headlines. I would say wait until we, as a district, get an official update tomorrow. As of right now, 2:16 p.m., the district has not gotten any updates from the state about that. And again, I'll say I read through the primary document that a lot of them are citing, and I couldn't make sense of it, so I don't know how they're making sense of it. So I'm going to hold off on saying anything official regarding Regents exams. AP exams. Obviously, we've talked a lot about that. If you're in an AP course, they've changed a lot. The whole test is now like 40 minutes, and it's like free response only, and blah, 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 blah. Either way, I've asked my students, I'll encourage you guys to do the same if you're not in my AP chemistry class, to contact your schools or colleges that you're either going to attend or that you're interested in if you're a junior or a sophomore. See if they'll still take the credit. See if you're still if you want to take the AP exam. This is the only year Saratoga is going to let you not take the AP exam and get your money back. That is your decision to make. Obviously, if you want to talk it out, I'm here for you. I am not going to make that decision for you. Either way, even if you plan on taking it, you need to let me know by April 15th. If you do not want to take it and you do not let me know by April 15th, you are taking it. So please put some thought into that. Any other questions? I got one more quick one on Remind. Text me on Remind. So, the end. I'll see you later.